All right, Gabriel Jesus has been advised to quit the side of Arsenal if at all he wants to really get to the levels he wants to be by a Brazilian legend that you know very well. And most of you that never really watched football around my age, you might have gone ahead to just hear about this lad. Welcome to this channel. Ollie Watkins in the mix to speak about this, and Gary Neville giving Pep Guardiola his props at the overlap. Let's see close to 400 likes. Much of this video. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned in the mix. So we are here to obviously bring you exactly what we think about this beautiful game of football and the transfers that have gonna hit obviously start off really making different rounds all over the world. Gabriel Jesus, I've gonna hit to see people linking him out to the club of Man United, and I tell you what, it is really one of those stories that I feel like I should come in here and obviously have a go at. So we are calling upon for you guys to subscribe because we are left with some few subscribers to hit 21,200 subscribers, right? So continue to do the needful. Now, thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, as you prepare for Juma Karim on Friday, right? And tomorrow is Thursday. So, Rivaldo has something to say, or has a message to carry to Gabriel Jesus. And he said, when you lose your space within the club, it hinders your chances in the Brazilian national team, and that is a concern for Gabriel Jesus at the moment. Rivaldo told Betfair, there are players playing well for 90 minutes at other clubs, scoring, and the coach will have seen this. Plus, when you have not scored many goals, it hurts even more for a striker. I think only the player can say whether or not he's happy with the club, whether he's fighting for space, or whether he's looking for another club. He will want to make sure he's selected for the Brazil squad and make this third World Cup in America in 2026. That's what he said. So he also added, Jesus needs to weigh up whether it's worth staying at the club where he's losing his place in the team or taking a risk to make a move to another country to try to score more goals. He has a decision to make. So Rivaldo is advising Gabriel Jesus to really ponder or contemplate on leaving Arsenal. But even if he leaves Arsenal and he doesn't really find a solution to what is hindering him from really getting the first 11 of Arsenal, then he won't find himself in a better position of really getting the best out of himself. I tell you, not until Gabriel Jesus finds himself fit for the lion's share of the season. Those 3 months he has gone ahead to miss out in 2 consecutive seasons at Arsenal, not kicking the ball, are really very, very affecting his career. I've always come here and told you that the 3 injuries that Gabriel Jesus got, he got them on the blink of him hitting the ground running. He had already gone ahead to hit the ground running, and every time he hit the ground running, he found himself injured. So that is what Jesus is supposed to work on. For me, that's what is running in my mind. Jesus should obviously find himself in a position of really doing the needful, of really keeping himself fit. I think he should find a better way of really keeping himself fit and really find a solution to that knee problem, because it affected his season of 2022-2023 where he scored 11 Premier League goals. And if he had gone ahead to keep himself available, I tell you, he would have gone ahead to come in and to score very many goals, because in his absence here, Arsenal scored very many goals. Yet even when he came back, Arsenal was still scoring those huge number of goals that you'll obviously want to look at. So for me, I don't find it at that level that Jesus needs to leave the club of Arsenal. Even if he plans to leave the club of Arsenal, all what he has to do is to keep himself fit. Talking about Brazil, I know he'll get into the Brazilian squad if at all he keeps himself fit. But this time around, there is no way he would have gone ahead to find himself into that Brazilian national team side when he feels like he should really undergo a surgery. And that surgery is very much important because this surgery will help him have ample time to rest and not really fight back easily. The reason as to why that knee has always gone ahead to have issues with him is that I think even when he was returning back from injury in March of 2023, he was not all that healed. He just forced himself to get back. Or maybe the people that went ahead to do that surgery never went ahead to do it well, and he might look out for another person who can come out through and really do a very good surgery to see to it that all goes on well as planned. So that is Jesus for you. So Rivaldo, being a legend of Brazil, he knows that every Brazilian player has a pride to play for Brazil, and that's the dream. And Jesus has been part of the World Cup of 2018, 2022, and he would love to be part of the World Cup of 2026. We know that these Brazilian players always have a lot to offer when it comes to the game of football. But I tell you what, Jesus needs to work on his injury. That knee injury is really very bad for him. But remember, the knee is the pivot of any player, and he runs a lot, he presses a lot, he covers a huge distance in his game, and that will really put him into the levels of putting out the knee onto what we call a very scary way. So I don't really agree that Jesus should leave the club of Arsenal now. As I told you in the morning that, sorry, not in the morning, in the live video I did yesterday, that all what Jesus has to do is simple. Jesus has to go out, undergo a surgery, be out for 4 months. That is June, July, August, returning in September. Then, if at all he fails this season, like to keep up at Arsenal, then I think Arsenal will have all what it takes to say, all right, Jesus, please, let's part ways with you. But I don't see him parting ways with Arsenal this season because he's undergoing a surgery. There is no way an injured player will be given a chance to obviously leave the club. You understand? So I respect Rivaldo. He scored one of the most important goals that saw Brazil win the World Cup of 2022. He was responsible for the first goal I think they scored because he hits the ball at Oliver Kahn. Oliver Kahn fists it into the vicinity of Ronaldo de Lima, and de Lima went ahead obviously score it. I still remember that like yesterday. But I think this guy deserves another chance at Arsenal. And I know if he was fit, even in the last game they played against Everton, Martinelli wouldn't have gone ahead to start ahead of him onto the right attacking side of the midfield. But ever since he returned from that knee injury, they've been playing him reservingly. That is it. They've been playing him reservingly. That is it. They've been playing him reservingly, and you even saw to it that he was one of those players that could come in through to foot the bill or to fit the boots of Saka onto the right attacking side of the game of Everton. But he never started and he came off the bench. His huge involvement to the second goal that won Arsenal the game. You understand that very well. So I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I call everything in the comment section below about Rivaldo advising Jesus to quit the club of Arsenal. What do you make about it? Do you think he has a very huge point in what he's saying or not? That is it coming in from Rivaldo, and I think we should obviously leave it at that and see to it that the man makes his decision in there for you very well. Now, Ollie Watkins has said, I want to play in the Euros. There are too many English strikers in the Premier League. There are a lot of wingers, but not many centre forwards. So I'm hopeful it's what I've been working hard towards. We'll have to wait and see. I tell you, If Gary Southgate leaves or drops Ollie Watkins, I will be very perturbed. You get? I'll be in total bafflement, because all what you'll ever need to see is taking Ollie Watkins. This season, he put up the most number of assists in the league, and that led to him winning what we call the most creative player of the season of 2023-2024. He scored 19 goals and 13 assists. And Harry Kane is the only striker that could go ahead of him, and is the only English striker that has gone ahead to score more goals than Ollie Watkins. And Ollie Watkins has said, I've been working hard to go to the Euros, but you all know that he's pulled for choice because Ivan Toney is also there, and the manager might be willing to obviously take Ivan Toney. But if he doesn't take Ollie Watkins, I'll obviously get worried, because how can you leave the most English striker that's scored the most number of goals in the Premier League? It will be really one of those decisions that will look naive for Gary Southgate. And if at all he fails to win the league, to win the Euros, they'll be like, obviously he was doomed to fail because he left out the best English striker in the league. Unless otherwise everything works on well and wins it. If he doesn't win the Euros, a lot of things are really going to be directed to him, and I don't know how he's really going to find himself out of them. But for Ollie Watkins, very good striker, and I think he's going to obviously represent to the fullest, especially for the side of Aston Villa, and those performances he put in were really exquisite, and they really did a lot. Now, Gary Neville, he said, if you say to me who is the biggest influence on football in this generation, I'll probably say Pep Guardiola, just generally across Europe, and he produced the greatest team of all time. So, I don't think that there is anyone who doubts what Pep Guardiola is going to do. Pep Guardiola is really one of those managers that have gone ahead to influence football. Ever since he took over in the season of 2008-2009 at Barcelona, then he left for Bayern Munich, and at Man City, he has been a very good manager. He knows exactly what he wants, and he has lots of things. I've gone ahead to see people say that he has been using money, but go out and check out the budget for the team I support, Manchester United. It's really a very huge budget, and if you handed it over to any manager, he would obviously try to thrive. But this guy has worked under a very competent board that is going to hit to see to it that they get him the players he wants always. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section bit about Jesus' advice to leave the side of Arsenal. What do you make about it? Should he take the advice or not? What do you make about Ollie Watkins showing in interest that he wants to play in the Euros? And do you think he's going to be one of those players that will go into the Euros? And what do you make about the last story we've talked about? It has been about Pep Guardiola being the manager that is going to influence the game of football more than anyone in this generation. Rokani David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Third video of the day. We are left with 2 to go. We out.